Hi everybody, my name is Alex and I'm a Skit PE trainee here at the Oakwood Academy as part of the Red Hill Teaching Alliance Skit programme.
Hi, my name's Katie and I am the maths trainee at the Red Hill Academy for 2020-2021.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm Nadia. I am a trainee in art and I'm at Red Hill School.
I'm Lucy Wild, I'm 27 from Langley Mill, Nottinghamshire. I'm a trainee drama teacher at Hall Park Academy.
Being a trainee teacher is incredibly fun, slightly challenging sometimes and also so rewarding at the end of it. Being able to share your passion and love for a subject and mould the minds of students to also love and enjoy that subject is something so fun and so unique to teacher training.
Being a trainee teacher is like spinning so many different plates all at once. You have your teacher hat on, you have your trainee teacher hat on, you have your NTU student hat on, and you're getting tasks from each of these different people and trying to balance them all, and you just have to make sure you don't drop any plates. So it's a lot of hard work, it is a lot of organisation, but it is so rewarding all of the time.
It's wicked. I love it. So it's challenging, but I feel like you don't have time to almost overthink it because you're constantly learning. So from one day to another, you've already picked up something that you might have felt, oh, I need to work on that. By the next afternoon, you've resolved it. You've resolved that issue or that one area that you want to work on. So for example, if you want to improve on behaviour in the classroom, by 5 lessons later, you've established what it was you're trying to accomplish, because it is fast paced, you're learning it on the job. So it's easier transition to becoming the better teacher you want to be.
My students don't really see me as a trainee teacher. They think that I am actually a teacher. When they found out that I was a trainee, they were shocked at first. It was kind of a bit hard to get a work-life balance. I have a young family, but I quickly adapted to that. I find myself falling more and more in love with being a teacher every day.
My day begins at 6 o'clock when my alarm goes off, and I will make sure I've got my lunch ready for the day. Needs lots of snacks so I can stay as energetic as I am, and I will end up at school about 7:30, which I will go and get all my reprographics from the printing office, and I will do one last check of all my lesson plans for that day, make sure they're all emailed to myself so I've not left any on a memory stick or anything like that. And then finally, I will end up drinking the cup of tea that I made in my house before I go to my form.
So wake up at 5, as you do, get to school for 7ish, bang on a computer, get my lesson plans printed off, have a coffee with the art department. It is fast paced, it's brilliant. The mornings are my favourite time of day because you get really excited, think what lessons have I got that day, what pupils am I seeing. It's great. First thing in the morning I wake up and think, oh, I've got this class today, that's awesome. So it's really, start of the day is the best time of day for me. I love the mornings. I'm a morning person though.
So, how does my day begin? To be completely honest, my day begins like you would imagine a teacher would begin. I come to school at 7:30, 20 to 8, get all my emails done in the morning, do all my lesson plans if I haven't done them anyway, and then get straight into teaching in period 1.
How does my day begin? I wake up, I get my son ready, we have breakfast together, which is something that I make sure that I always do. When I get to school, I say hello to my mentor, check my work emails, and then I set up my lessons. Getting all my resources picked up that got printed the day before, set up the area for my practical lessons, or putting the sheets on the desk ready for when my first students of the day come in.
So the role of the mentor is to support you, but also the role of the mentor is to give you feedback, and if you're struggling with an area, you feel like there's something that you could work on, they almost put it into place, those areas that you need to work on. So for example, if you feel like you're ready to move on to key stage 4, she will put that into place. Right, okay, you're ready to move on to key stage 4, let's get that lined up in your timetable. That's the role of a mentor. But a mentor's also there to listen to you, support you, be your guide, and just to watch them and get their knowledge and kind of break them down, how they become where they are, how they're the best at their job, and they're there to inspire you without realising they do it.
The role of the mentor is they are the person responsible for building you up right from the very instant you walk into that workroom where you're seeing 12 other members of the faculty that you've never met before in your life, and then they will build you up to becoming this teacher ready to go next September. The mentor is the person that will support you on your journey. They will give you feedback that's constructive and helpful. They'll be a safe place to go to share opinions, your worries, any stresses that you've got. And the role of the weekly meeting is an hour set aside just for you and your mentor each week to discuss all your feedback that you've gotten for the previous week where you've taught lessons, any starters you may have done or anything like that. And then they'll look at all of this feedback collaboratively with yourself and come to think of targets that will progress you on your journey to becoming a teacher.
So my mentor supports me in every decision that I make, be that emotionally or educationally, and I also support her. At first she guided me and showed me her practice, and now she guides me and gives me ideas from my own. We laugh, we make jokes, we've become really good friends as well as colleagues. In our weekly meetings we discuss anything that's crept up in the last week. I make lists, we make a plan for the week ahead, and we talk about things that friends do too.
The role of your mentor during your course and during your time at the school is so important because they are the person who is your first port of call if you have any issues. They're a shoulder to lean on if you need that help. They're a shoulder to cry on if you need that as well. But they also offer vast amount of knowledge and experience to share with you as well. They're so valuable, and the relationship you have with your mentor is always one of the highlights of the course. You always have a positive relationship with them, and essentially you're having kind of a sensei for life, in the sense that you're always going to have that person to speak to if you have a question about your subject. Part of the role of the mentor is to host weekly meetings with you where you talk about your progress and your performance in that week, and some areas what you perhaps think you struggled with, or some areas what you think that you could improve in the future. It's a really good way to kind of have a catch up, figure out whereabouts you are, if you do need any more support, and what areas you perhaps might want some help with. But then also it's all about the positives as well. Those mentor meetings are a really good way to kind of have a sit down and have a chat about things what went really well, things that you feel that you did really well, and being able to kind of celebrate the success as well as work on that progress to get you to the next level of becoming a teacher.
Planning lessons is absolutely great because as you get to know your classes, you'll be planning your lessons and thinking about all the tasks that you want them to do, but you will visualize it in your head and you will picture them being sat at their desks doing all these tasks, and you can kind of see it before you actually even teach it. And then teaching the lessons, it's so rewarding. You feel like you're on a stage and they are all your audience, and it is just so much fun. And you get all these like light bulb moments where you've planned something and thought about something, and then a student will just completely throw you a curveball and give you an answer that's even better than you would have ever expected, and it just makes it so worth it.
The idea of planning and teaching your own lessons can be something a little bit scary and quite daunting for some people who perhaps haven't got that experience before of standing in front of up to 30 children at a time teaching a subject. Can be quite off-putting sometimes. That's the good role of a mentor, is if you're one of those people who do struggle or perhaps might think you're a little bit nervous in those situations, your mentor can come in, they can take half of the lesson, and then you can maybe take 10 minutes at the start of the course or at the end to kind of ease you into it. But Planning lessons sometimes can take a long amount of time. You will find yourself in school when it's dark outside, planning those lessons and making sure that you've planned the perfect lesson for the next day or for the next week, depending on how organised you are. And it is one of those things what you take immense satisfaction once you've done your lesson. You know you've put time and effort into this lesson plan, and then you go and teach that lesson and you have a really good lesson. It's such a rewarding feeling knowing that you've planned that, you've delivered that, and it's worked out really, really well.
Teaching lessons.
Oh, okay. So at the beginning it was really difficult to plan. I think I was really scared to plan my lessons. But actually, one of our training sessions, the guy who did our one of the guys who did our lesson planning session said, your role as a teacher to look forward to planning your lessons, and you should get excited to plan your lessons. And I thought that was ludicrous, but actually tonight I'm going to sit down and do all my year 9 classes, and I'm really excited to sit down and actually plan my year 9 classes. So at first I was a bit like, I'm never going to get my head around this, but actually I really look forward to it because it's a part of the week that I love doing. And then you also get excited to see that class and you think, oh, how can I push them out of their full potential? And that's your role as a teacher, and being able to plan that.
So you would think that it would be major stress, head going crazy, but after a while it just comes naturally. I've only been doing it for 8 weeks now, and it feels like I've been doing it for a lifetime. Even if you're struggling, there are plenty of resources out there. There's loads of people that are willing to help. There's lots of social media groups where people are willing to lend a hand and pass on ideas to help you. In the classroom, I feel very calm in a classroom, which I didn't think that I would. I feel very natural. It feels natural to me. I really enjoy it.
Being really organised and being really good at managing time is so important, not just at being a teacher, but also when it comes to being a trainee teacher as well. Knowing what lessons you have for the day, where you need to be for your lesson observations, knowing what time to turn up, how to lay out the classroom, what resources you need is so important. And you need to be good at managing that time to know that it's going to take you 20 minutes to do this. It's going to take you half an hour to do this at the end of the day. And you need to have those time management skills. If you don't, you'll learn them very, very quickly early on.
Okay, so I've only just found out the balance of this. So you need to give yourself time. I was literally spending every night and full weekend studying, writing plans, writing my essays, looking up resources. No, you really do need to balance it. So now Friday nights are off, Saturday nights are off, and I do half a day on Thursday, because not a Thursday or Sunday, because otherwise you need that time to reflect, you need that time to, sleep. Otherwise, if you don't sleep, if you don't reflect, you can't reflect on what you've improved on, where you can go forward. You need to sleep. It's important. Otherwise, you're not going to be a function. You're not going to be a good teacher. You're going to come in hating everyone. So I think balance takes time, but I think I've only just learnt what balance is.
How do I manage my time? I have a very strict at-home timetable that I follow. After all, I do have a young family. And I would get carried away if I sat home on my laptop to work. I try to maintain a happy at-home work-life balance. So I put in a strict 2.5 hour work at home. I work from 7 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. Friday night, Saturday and Sunday are set aside for family time. Each night is for different things. For example, one night I'll work on lesson plans, one night I'll work on my assignment, my university assignment, and another night I'll work on marking.
To manage my time, I find that it is so crucial to be organised and really plan out where and when you're going to do things. The things that I use to manage my time is I have to-do lists, notebooks, where I can write down my to-do list and tick them off. But I also use my diary in a way that I can see what time and when I'm either teaching or observing lessons, where I have my free periods, what lessons I'm actually teaching and the content, and then also any homework or other things that I may have to give to students or collect from students. And I just find that helps me visually see, because I use different highlighters and things like that, what exactly I'm doing each week.
Okay, they're interesting, they're good. I actually really look forward to it, because now if I've observed something or seen something, I write it in a note to bring to the session to ask questions on it. I find them, because they're small, you get a lot out of them, rather than I find them, because everyone goes to different schools, they come from different locations, different sets of pupils, different sets of teachings, so everyone brings all what they've been observing and what they've been trained on together, and we get to take snippets of everyone's experiences and then the experience of our trainees as well. So it's awesome. You get a lot out of it without realising it until you steal bits and put them into your own lessons, or put them into your own, how you present yourself in the classroom, or how you talk to a pupil or a member of staff. You do get more out of them than you probably realise, which is what I've only just come to notice now.
Red Hill Talk sessions are areas that a trainee teacher will need to have secure knowledge and understanding. They will be on things like questioning, explanations, behaviour management, modelling, all key things that we as trainee teachers need throughout the year to develop our practice. The sessions at Red Hill are an opportunity to learn from experienced teachers that are still practicing their teaching every single day, and also an opportunity to collaborate with other trainees, share our own experiences that we're having in school, and also our best practices. So for an instance, our sessions are on a Wednesday, and we might have a session on behaviour management where we are given techniques on how to manage low-level disruption, and then because I'm teaching a lesson on Thursday where I've got a particularly naughty year 7 class, I can put those techniques into practice and then be able to reflect on them that week and just action it there and then.
The Red Hill Taught lessons, although have taken a little bit of a strange twist this year due to COVID and them being online, are a really, really good chance of being able to kind of learn new approaches to teaching, learn new styles to teaching, discuss ideas. It's a really good kind of mixing and melting pot of skit trainees from different schools coming together, speaking about what works for them in their school, speaking about what perhaps doesn't work well for those school, and kind of tossing and throwing ideas between each other. And it's a really, really good experience to have. Both Sally and Adam, who deliver the sessions, as well as the external people who come in to deliver your sessions specifically, are really knowledgeable. Their experience in teaching is so apparent, and there's not a question what you will ask what won't go unanswered.
They are really fun. I was terrified of these sessions, being in a group of people that I thought would be smarter than me, better at teaching than what I was, when in matter of fact they're just people just like me. They're just as nervous as me, knew just as much as I did. In fact, we all knew different things, and we've become such a good bunch of friends too. The sessions are not just people talking at you either. We talk together, and they're so engaging. I don't lose interest in the session. It's not just a bunch of intellectual jargon being thrown at me. It's relatable and it's understandable.
The NTU side of the course is the opportunity for us as trainees to earn our PGCE. It is 12 days spread out through the academic year where we are immersed into learning theories and other aspects of academia. These 12 days over the course of the year will prepare us to complete 2 assignments where we will do an analysis of approaches to teaching and learning, and also look at aspects of the subject that we are training to be teachers in. The 2 lecturers that run the NTU side of the course are so fantastic. They are experts in their field, and it is a welcome sight to see them on those 12 days that we have them throughout the year.
Although you're doing a skit course, the NTU part of your course, your university experience, is also a crucial part of your course. You get given assignments, what you need to do. Although it's not a lot, there's only 2 assignments, you still have to do them as you would do in an undergraduate degree or as you would do in a PGCE. This is to obviously get your certification. And it's really good, having that experience of seeing everybody in an academic situation, in a big lecture hall, talking about theories of teaching and talking about kind of the more philosophical ways of teaching rather than the practical aspects of teaching is a little bit of a different twist. What at first I found a little bit strange, but it's something that I'm really starting to embrace now and understanding how people learn due to different environments.
Actually, it's really good because I'm an art teacher to be. Academia is clearly I'm more creative, so give me a drawing and say draw it, I could do it. Give me a piece of text and be like, write about it. I found that extremely challenging. But actually they're really supportive, that it's not intimidating and you'll feel very welcomed, and actually felt very motivated and inspired.
I was really worried about going back to university as I'm not a very big intellectual person. I wasn't very good at the writing part of university, so I was really worried about that. I thought I'd just be sat at the back of the university halls in a bit of bewilderment. However, the sessions have been really informative and they make you look at education in a very different way. Matt and Jamie have always been there to answer any queries that I've got, any answers, or no matter how silly I might sound sometimes. And they also don't rush you into making the connections for yourself. You get to make those connections and you get to find the answers for yourself.
So we're coming up to Christmas, so I've been in the school now for just over a term, and my highlight so far is being able to create those relationships and those bonds with students. There's certain students at the start of the year who wouldn't even look at me, would just kind of look at the floor and be too shy to look at me or even talk to me. Now I can't walk from one lesson to another without being stopped by 5 or 6 students at a time asking me how my day is, asking me about the football, what went on the weekend before. There's always those conversations, and perhaps they're not educational, but being able to build those relationships and that rapport with the children, and then being able to kind of help that and use that to your advantage when it comes to teaching them is something what has been a massive highlight for me so far.
Oh my gosh, my highlight was last week when my year 9s got really excited when I got told I'll be staying on after Christmas, and they all cheered. And then my other highlight was bumping into my pupils in half term and they waved at me and said, "Hey, miss." That was awesome. Yeah.
In terms of actual highlights, I just think I have made the best decision training to be a teacher this year. Compared to my previous jobs where I've worked in retail, being a teacher is just the most rewarding experience that I could have asked for, and I couldn't have even imagined before the level of satisfaction I would get from teaching children. Highlights so far this year are meeting so many people that are so welcoming and so warm and just so great that you get on with them on every single level. People such as Adam and Sally who run the skits, to the other trainees, to my mentor, and to also the maths faculty. They're all so supportive that you end up feeling like everyone is on Team Katie.
My host school, Hall Park Academy, wanting to keep me, that was lovely. Then my students, not knowing that I'm a student, they think I'm a real drama teacher. They asked me the other day, "So miss, how long have you been teaching here?" And I said, "Well, actually I'm not a qualified teacher yet, I'm just training." And they were absolutely taken aback. They was like, "Miss, so you don't get paid?" And I was like, I said, no I don't. And they was like, "Oh, I can't believe it." And it was nice to know that they treat me as they see me as a teacher. It was really nice to know. Another thing is that I have my own desk and I have my own classroom, which is amazing. It's lovely to have this space and be able to make displays and things like that. That's lovely for me to do. And also I get to run a after school drama club, so I get to flounce around my ideas there, that's fun.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Do not compare yourself to other people. Do not. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's pace and grasping of things is different. So don't compare yourself, because we all grasp things at different times. And we'll all be the best we can be at the end.
Try not to be caught up in what might be. Just let go and you'll find your way of teaching by yourself. Don't try and teach like somebody else, teach like you. You're better than you think you are. Don't think you're something else, you'll find your way. Don't work yourself to death. Create a work-life balance from the beginning, because you'll need it. And make friends, don't isolate yourself. Being a teacher can be so much more fun if you have teacher friends who you can moan to.
My top tips for trainee teachers would be: make sure you have a really supportive support network around you. These can be people such as other trainees, your friends, your families, but they all need to recognise the challenge that you're going to face this year. Also, try and stay as organised as you can. Ideally, you want to aim to get to the place where you're thinking a week ahead or two, rather than planning for the next day. Another top tip is be aware that taking feedback and listening to feedback is a skill. And the very first time someone gives you feedback, you'll feel really strange, but you will get better at it and you will react to it in positive ways. And also, on taking feedback, being reflective on this and actually applying it to your practice is also a really difficult skill that you won't have straight away when you come to the course, and it will develop over time.
So my top tips for trainees is, first and foremost, be organised. If you're not organised, go to the shops, get a daily planner, get your pens, get your pencils, get everything you need, so then once you go to the school, you can hit the ground running. You've got every single piece of equipment, you've got everything written down in a diary or in a lesson planner or a day planner, so you know what's coming next. That way you won't make a silly mistake, you won't go to the wrong room, because you've got it all planned down, you've got it all written down. My next tip would be to enjoy it. You're not here, you're not expected to be the best teacher ever as soon as you come in. Some people will find it hard to adapt to being in a school and being a teacher. Obviously, a lot of you have probably been in a school as a student, and it's so different seeing that perspective as a teacher. So being able to accept that you're not going to be the best teacher ever straight away, and that it's a learning experience from day one all the way to the last day where you're going to develop as a teacher, is a really crucial skill, what I think we all kind of need to be aware of. You're not going to be the best teacher ever straight away, but it's all about learning and developing your process to become the best teacher you can be.